right, so this is just something that I want to make sure that is back in y'all's minds. This is a slide I've already covered. It's on your review PowerPoint, so I'm sure some of you guys have flipped through it. But in case you haven't, I just want to make sure that it's back up here for a second. Yes, we have been focusing on the nominative and the accusative, but I wanted to make sure that you guys were reminded of how all the cases will translate throughout the year. This is to make sure that when we go into chapter 2, it's a little bit more of a fluid entry for us, so that when we do start dealing with more of these cases, you guys will be familiar with how they translate. So the nominative translates with the something or a something. The genitive translates with of the something. The dative to something or for something. Then the accusative and the nominative translate the same way. You all know the difference though at this point. Ablative will have the words by, with, or from, and some other prepositions in front, okay? Just want to make sure that that was reviewed so that everybody could know where we're at going forward. Once again, here's the example that I gave you guys earlier. Oh, it's freezing quite a bit. Hold on one second. You guys remember this? The farmer, a farmer, or then in the plural, it's just the same trigger words. Just with the plural version of the verb, of the noun. Yes?
Do we need to write those out?
No. I'm going to have a question be like, how does the dative translate? And you'll have to know the trigger words for how the dative translate, that kind of stuff. All right, so this was where we left off yesterday. We started to, or no, we haven't done this yet. This is the next exercise. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, and y'all can do it on the same exercise sheet that y'all were doing yesterday. These are all in order on your PowerPoint slide. So if you want to check your work once again to review, while looking at the PowerPoint slides, you can see what your answers were. Just go back and remember how we did it. What I want to go ahead and work on right now for everybody is just how to parse, how to identify the ending of a noun, and to say what job it has in the sentence again, okay? So number 1, you guys can go ahead and write down puelai for number 1. Technically, this is exercise 4 because we did 1, 2, and 3 yesterday. All right? So you'd write down the word puelai, and the goal here, as you guys can see right up top, is to change all of these words, which are all singular, change them all into their plural form. So all you're changing is the number. But first what we got to do is we have to parse. And remember, those are the 3 parts of a noun: gender, number, and case. Very good. So puelai is an interesting one, but you know the gender and the number. I already told you all these are singular. So what's the gender of puelai? Let's go, Jack. Go ahead, take us through this one. Number 1.
I believe this one should be feminine.
Right.
The number.
I already told you all these are
Singular.
singular. All right, but here's where he's starting to think a lot, is the fact that this declension, the first declension that y'all are learning in this chapter, has 3 spots that look like AE. All right? So in the singular, Jack, where do you see AE, the I ending?
For accusative?
Not accusative. Remember, the order is always the same. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative. So we got feminine singular genitive, and we've got feminine singular dative. Very good. All right, so now we're changing the number. So we're keeping everything the same. You're going to have 2 answers for number 1 and 2 answers for number 5. You guys can see they have the same ending on them. But what you guys are going to do is you're going to go across to the plural column, and you're going to apply the plural ending to it. So what would the plural genitive be, Jack?
The plural version?
Yeah, the plural version would be
puelarum.
Exactly right, puelarum. So that's your answer for the first part. And then the dative plural would be puelis. Very good. All right, so I want you guys to go ahead and do these ones. All right, go ahead and do these ones. 2 through 7. Just take a couple minutes. So write down that word that's there. parse it, gender, number, case, just like I did, abbreviate everything, and then write the plural form. Try as best as you can to do it from memory. Say the chant in your head, say the chart in your head, try and do that. That's the Latin skill I want you to develop, is how to go through your charts in your head, see what case and number column they're in. That's a very important skill to have. Number 2, Elena Ives. Go ahead.
It's masculine.
It is masculine.
It's singular.
Singular.
Then accusative.
Accusative. Very good. And the plural accusative would sound like?
Now toss.
Nautos. Excellent. Same kind of ending here, but what is the gender number case of this one? Elena number 2. Sorry, I forgot your last name.
Weaver.
Weaver, that's right. Go ahead.
What the plural version?
You want to make it the plural version, but parse this one right here for me first. Gender number case.
Feminine.
Not feminine. Oh yeah, sorry, feminine. I was thinking the other. Yep, feminine.
Singular.
Singular.
And accusative.
Very good. And now it will be very similar to the one above it. Terras. Very good. All right. Number 4. How would you parse this one, Gianna?
Feminine.
Not feminine. Remember, it's a job. So this is masculine. Yep.
Okay. Singular. Nominative.
Good. Good dig. Well done. Now make it plural. No, not quite. Do your chart. Go ahead and do the singular for me.
Sam?
Yep.
Ah.
Aye, there you go. See, that's all you got to do. You just do that in your head. That's exactly what you do. Very good. There you go. That's exactly right. That's the nominative plural. So it's still the subject noun spot. It's just more farmers than just one.
How do you know if it's feminine or masculine?
Well, number 1 rule is to memorize it for your vocab.
Okay.
Number 2, for here, these are a little tricky
Yeah.
because they have the same endings. But I told you guys when I was first giving it to you. Do you guys remember the trick I told you?
It was a job.
They're all jobs. Sailor is masculine.
Okay.
Farmer, athlete.
Okay, so
Like
if
that.
jobs are masculine, if
Yes.
not jobs are
Right.
feminine.
Yes.
So for like aqua and stuff.
Yes.
I know that you said all of them are singular, but like if you didn't tell us that all of them are singular, how would we know if it was like?
Once again, that'll come later in later chapters where I'm asking you to deal with different cases. But for right now, just know that those are potential ways that it can look.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that that's a frustrating answer. Don't get me wrong, but just go slowly with me, and I promise you we'll get there. All right. So this one right here, once again, he's bringing up a good question, going into aquae. This one can be parsed 2 different ways: feminine singular genitive and feminine singular dative. Those are the 2 spots that you see I, I in the singular. So then in the plural, it would be aquarum for genitive plural, and what for dative plural? Aquis. Good. All right, so come down here and do puella for me, Franco. Very good. So you notice the difference between the short in the nominative, and then the in the ablative singular. Good. So it is feminine singular ablative. What would the plural be, Franco? Is. Puellis. Excellent. Good, good, good. Okay, guys, these are for you guys to practice tonight. These are all, just want you guys to be clear on this, this column, 1 through 7 on this side, these are all plural that you'll be changing back into the singular, just for more practice, okay? And I'll show you more things that you guys can practice with that tonight. Yes, Ava.
We have to memorize like the nominative like in order for
The cases? Yes, well, it's a part of knowing your declension. So yes, you do need to know those in order for tomorrow.
Wait, and we'll have to remember the vocab?
There will be some vocab questions, but not as extensive as they were on your quiz. Yeah, you'll just have to know the meaning. All right, so here we go. I want you guys to translate these sentences either from Latin into English or from English into Latin, okay? So you guys, I'm sure, can probably do number 1 without my help, so go ahead and write it down. Write the sentence down. This is exercise 5. Go ahead and write the sentence down in Latin, and then translate it into English, either next to it or underneath it, whatever you feel comfortable.
This is really have to know the vocab.
Right, this is the kind of stuff that vocab is absolutely necessary for. You'll never be able to do tests or quizzes without the vocab. No. Yes, write it down and then translate. There's a reason for that, Delia. It's because it just kind of makes you have a Latin brain before you turn on your English brain. So having both is important. All right. This isn't a tricky one. This is just very straightforward. All right. Anybody done already? All right, you want to go ahead and give us a translation, Jack?
The farmer loves the land.
Very good. And this is a simple sentence, so of course you do have Agricola first, but is that what makes it the subject noun? No. Having the word first does not make anything the subject noun. It's the fact that its ending is a, the nominative ending. And this is the direct object because of its ending. Good. And this is the verb. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you do. That's what I was giving you those words for. When something's in the nominative or in the accusative, the words that you can put in front of it are the or a. Yes, ma'am. Good question. Does everyone understand what Elena just asked right there? That's why you don't just say, farmer love land. You sound like a caveman. You can use those. Nominative can translate the or a, so can the accusative. All right? Very good. Yes, ma'am. All right, so the next one is English. So write it down in English, and then I want you to take another step. It's not a hard step. I just want you to label the job of each word. You guys know what I mean by label?
Like the DO.
Exactly. So before you translate it into Latin, I want you to label it. Once you're done labeling it, go ahead and do the translating. You'll put on top of the word, so write the sentence out, write on top of the word what the job is of each noun or verb or whatever. Yeah.
So for number 2, are we translating it to Latin?
Exactly. All right, so your labeling should look like this. Subject, or here, let me ask you, what's the verb? This is how you should start. Where's the action in the sentence? This is how you should start. Sorry, I should have done this. What you got, Easton? Loves is the verb, okay? Now you find the subject noun by identifying who is loving. Who is doing the loving? So who is doing the loving, Easton?
The athlete.
The athlete. That's the subject noun. Now, what is the athlete loving?
Water.
There you go. That's how you can identify the subject noun and the direct object in the verb. You guys see that? Okay? Now, guys, this is harder than what you're going to do on the test. There's maybe like one sentence or two sentences that I want you to translate, but this is, what you guys are doing is as hard as the test gets. All right? The test is a very generous test. You're going to be fine tomorrow, okay? So what does the athlete need to end in if it's going to be subject noun? Yes, sir.
Wait,
Do you have a question?
no, sorry, I was confused.
Are you good? Are you clarifying?
Yeah.
Okay, you good? Yeah, what does athlete need to end in if it's going to be the subject? Jason.
Athleta.
Good, athleta. Nominative singular, very good. Now, does loves go right next to it?
No.
No, it goes at the end. Good, so what's he, she, it loves? Amat. All right, now water is the direct object, so it needs to end in Very good, aquam. You guys got it. That is very good, y'all. Yes, ma'am.
Do we still for capitals? Do we still put the make on in there?
If the word is capital, yeah. I'm so sorry. I should have done that. Yes, ma'am. You're exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, the endings are never capitalized, but yeah, you capitalize what you need to. First word of the sentence. Yes, ma'am.
So why would aquam? Is that how you say it? Why would that be? Would that be plural? Or
No, water is just singular.
Okay.
If it was the athlete loves the waters, that would be plural.
So then how would you know to put an am at the end of it?
Because this word is a direct object.
Okay.
All right, so we got our nominative and our accusative, a and Nominatives are always your subject noun.
Okay.
Accusatives are always your direct object.
So then how would you
Also,
know
they
that
always
there's an AE at the end?
What do you mean?
So like, how would you know like for like a certain scenario it'd be AM, but then other scenarios would be AE?
You talking about these cases right here?
Yeah.
We haven't covered those yet.
Oh, okay.
But that's good that you want to know. That's just, it's too, like, don't even worry about it for chapter 1.
Okay.
I just want you to be nailed down with the nominative and the accusative jobs.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for wondering, though. Yes.
So all we have to know is nominative, subject, noun, and accusative, direct object.
That's the basic, that's literally the main coverage of chapter 1. Yep. That is really it, is to prove your knowledge of that. I mean, I'm going to ask you other questions. You know, I want you to know all the cases. I want you to know all the case endings. But yeah, we haven't applied that yet, so don't worry about that yet. All right? Any more questions before I go to the next one? Okay. You want to do the next one, Delia? Oh, okay. Caroline, do you want to give this one a shot?
Sure.
Go for it. Oh, I thought you were. Do you want to?
Yes.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Napsa is the subject noun,
Good.
and William is the direct object,
Good.
and Amat is the verb.
So it would sound.
The sailor loves his dog.
I love that you did that. That's good. Did y'all hear what she did? She implied what was already there. The sailor loves his daughter. Is the word his in there?
No.
No, you can do that sometimes though. And if you wanted to be literal with it, you could say the sailor loves the daughter or a daughter. But you did a good job to imply the possession of that. Love makes sense. Okay, next one. The poet loves Rome. Do the same thing. Write it in the English, label it, and then translate it. You guys will come to a point where you won't have to label it. You'll understand quickly. But this is just a surefire way to make sure you're getting your jobs right. All right. So remember, start with the verb. What's the verb? Yes, ma'am.
Amat.
No. Labeling. What's You're right, but what's the? Yes, loves. Now, who's doing it, Gianna?
The poet.
Very
And
good.
the
And
subject
what
noun.
does he love?
Rome.
Very good. So that's how you know it's a direct object. Now, Gianna, asking you again. Since this is the direct object, what case does Rome have to be?
The A1 and
Accusative.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Accusative. So, very good. The ending will be
It'd be Romain.
Romam. Good, like that. It'll be like that. And poeta, as a subject noun, you guys know, is just poeta. And then she's right. Amat will go at the end, which is the verb. Amat.
Okay, so the subject noun will go before the direct object?
Not always.
Okay.
This is just kind of how it's going right now. These are very simple three word structure sentences, so this is just how it kind of naturally goes right now. It won't always be that way. You're right. Gianna's exactly right, guys. The sentence could look like this, and it would say the same thing. Romam, poeta amat.
Do you care which way it goes?
Do not at all. Literally not at all. As long as the verb is at the end, and as long as the correct endings are on your nouns, doesn't matter where they go. Good question. All right? Now, I'm going to leave the other two up here for you guys to use as practice tonight, and I meant to say this. If you want to send me a picture tonight to be like, Mr. Area, could you check my practice? I would happily do that for you. All right? So I'm leaving you guys some things to review and do tonight. Please know that sending them to me so that they can be checked is absolutely an option. Okay? All right. All right, so now what I want you guys to do is get your workbooks out. Just so that I can show you some other things that you can work on that you can also take a picture of and send to me if you want. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. And there are also some questions that will be good to cover that I'll also ask you questions about on the test tomorrow, okay? All right, so open up to page 5 for a second. Let's do these questions first. Page 5 in your workbook. They're the last questions. They're called content questions of some of the stuff that we've covered so far, this unit. Just want to make sure that it's all covered. All right, the first question is, who were the founders of Rome? Isn't that it? All right. Who were the founders of Rome? Go ahead and just say it together.
Romulus and Remus.
All right, now I'm going to put some emphasis on something. Who was actually the first king of Rome? Romulus. So I'd write that down. So Romulus and Remus, they were the founders of Rome. But Romulus, because of what happened with his brother, he ended up being the first king of Rome. And when was that? This is in your notes from the first day where I was doing like a brief history of Rome, if y'all remember that.
Yes.
What date was it? It's okay if you don't remember. I don't expect you guys to remember that right now. I'm just telling it to you right now because it will be on your test.
451 BC.
No, not quite.
753.
753 BC.
That was a lot.
753 BC. 753 BC is considered the foundation of Rome. All right? 753. And that's just to let you guys know that Rome itself is almost 3,000 years old. All right? So know that date. Rome is a very ancient, widespread thing that we will always be talking about as Western countries. All right? So now, flip through some of the other pages. I just want to show you what's there for you. Some of the other exercises that you guys could give a shot. All right? On page 3, there's some more ending practice, like parsing words and checking out what the endings are and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that y'all see that those are there. On page 3, you can see that there's like examples done for you, showing you how they translate. You can parse them for what they are, yada yada, all that stuff. But also on page 4, there's some more of that stuff to do. All right, so that you can parse and change the endings. I'd really, really recommend that you guys do those exercises to really make sure that you've got your endings down. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So exercise 3 and 5 on page 3, and then 6 and 7 on page 4.
Yeah, and 7 you don't really have to do.
Okay.
You don't really have to do that. But let's go ahead and let's finish the questions on page 5. All right, so what's question number 2?
Name the 8.
Yeah, 8 parts of speech. Give me one, Ava. What's a part of speech? One of the 8 that I told you guys about one of the first days.
Verb.
Verb. Very good. That's one. What's another one? Yes, John.
Direct object.
That's a job that a what can have?
No.
A noun. So verb, noun. What else? What you got? Adverb. What else you got, Elena? Adjective. What else you got, Tate? Pronoun. Very good. Hunter? Conjunction. Jack?
Preposition.
Preposition. The last one is not used super often. It's like, whoa! Interjection. Very good. That's really it. That's it. So that's just making sure that that's covered. There will be on the test tomorrow, I just want to make sure you guys know this, there will be a sentence that I will have you guys translate. But then in another question, you'll have the exact same sentence, and I'll say, hey, tell me what job each of these words has in the sentence. So you'll need to tell me that something is a verb, something is the subject noun, something is the direct object, something is the preposition, something is the object of the that kind of stuff, okay? You'll be good. All right? Nothing too much. Okay, any questions about any of that? We're almost done. You guys are going to do great tomorrow. All right, so we stopped here yesterday or 2 days ago. All right? So let me go ahead and read some of this for you. All right? I'm going to start right up here. All right? Remember, oppidum. Do y'all remember what oppidum means from yesterday? Town. Very good. It means town. So here we go. In Graecia, multi insulae sunt. In Italia, et in Graecia sunt multa oppida. In Gallia et in Germania, multi sunt fluvii. Sunt ne multi fluvii et multa oppida in Arabia? In Arabia non multi, sed pauci fluvii sunt, et pauca oppida. So going back up here, what does this sentence say? In Graecia multi insulae sunt. What's that say? In Greece, there are many islands. Very good. In Italia et in Graecia, what's that mean?
In Italy and Greece.
And in Greece, sunt multa oppida, are many towns. Very good. In Gallia et in Germania, multi sunt fluvii. Y'all remember what that word means? Fluvius?
Water? Oh, river.
River. Very good. So in Gallia, do you remember what Gallia is?
Galilee? Wait.
Not Galilee, it's France. So it used to be called Gaul. All right? And in Germany, so in France and in Germany, there are
Multiple rivers.
many, say many, many rivers. And then this one has the ne attached to this linking verb. So it's not a statement sentence anymore. It's a question. So you can see that there. So instead of it,
How would you pronounce that?
Sutna. Yeah, just like Sutna multiflui et multa apida in Arabia. So how would you phrase this one? You wouldn't say there are many. You would say are there? Good. So are there many rivers and many towns in Arabia? And then here's the answer. In Arabia, non multi. There's not many. Said pauki. And you guys can see that pauki is the opposite of multi. Few. Very good. But a few rivers and a few towns. Good, y'all. Good. Okay, so there are some other questions in your workbook. Question 3 is what? Go ahead and read it for us.
What 3 properties does every noun have?
All right, what are the 3 properties that every noun has, Jason?
Gender, number, and case.
Very good. What's question 4?
Listen with 5 names of case and order.
All right, here we go, Ava. This is the kind of stuff I want you to practice, okay? What are the 5 case names in order? See if you can write them down. And see if you can get them right in order, okay? I'll count a little bit so that we don't waste too much time. All right. First one is nominative. Second one is genitive. Good. And this is the order they will always be in. All right. Third one is dative. All right. Fourth one is accusative. Good. And then the last one is always ablative. Good. Okay. Very good, y'all. Okay. Question 5.
What is the usual gender of nouns of the first?
All right. So this is an interesting question. What's the usual gender?
Masculine.
It's feminine is usually feminine. The ones that are masculine are jobs, occupation. Good. Very good, y'all. Very good. All right, yes, ma'am.
For question 3, it was the gen.
Yep, gender, number, case. Exactly right. All right, so here we go. Continuing on in our little translation here. Num, when it's at the beginning of a sentence, this is the same thing as suntna. You guys can see the little there. Yep, it's just like a question. So, instead of Crete is a town, it would be phrased, is Crete a town? Very good. Very good. You guys see that? It just introduces a question.
What does
So,
num actually mean?
num, it's the expectation of the answer yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not really technically a word in the.
No, it's not. Exactly right. It's not like a translatable word. It just shows you that someone's asking a question,
It just
expecting
says-
there to be a
it's
yes.
Like, that's what I said, just saying it's a question.
Exactly. So like it would be me asking you like, "You're a man, aren't you?" You see, like that's like expecting you to be like, "Yeah." You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. S na at the end of a word. The difference, the reason why there's 2 different ones is because someone's genuinely confused. Like, is it? Yes or no? Like it's a both way. Num, when it's at the beginning, it's like they're asking it like as though it's obvious. I'm asking it, the answer is obvious. Yes. Okay, so is Crete a town? All right, and then the answer here is a shocking one. Crete is not a town. So he was expecting the answer yes, and then this one's shouting, no, it's not a town. All right, Creta, what is Creta? So now he's asking an actual question. What is it? So now don't answer me yes or no. Quid is asking for an actual answer. What is Crete? Creta insula est. You guys see that? Good. Okay. Num Sparta insula est. So what's that saying? Is Sparta an island? Sparta non est insula. Good. Quid est Sparta? What is Sparta? Sparta opinum est. Is a town. Good. Rhenus quid est. Remember, word order doesn't matter.
Rhenus is what?
What is
There you go. You can change it to be better than that, though.
What is it?
What is Rhenus? That's how it. And remember, it's the Rhine. The Rhine. Rhenus est magnus fluvius. Yeah, the Rhine is a big river. So this next one, num oceanus Atlanticus parvus est.
Is that Atlantic?
Atlanticus. There you go, the Atlantic Ocean. So, what?
the Atlantic Ocean small?
Is the Atlantic Ocean small?
No,
And then the answer is non parvus,
Not small.
not small. Said Magnus.
But
That's
big.
okay. But the ocean is big. Good. All right. Very, very good. All right. This next one, ubi. Another question word. Ubi. Ubi est Romanum Imperium. Where? What do you think Imperium Romanum means? The Roman Empire. So where is the Roman Empire? All right. Very nice. All right. The Roman Empire.
Is it Europe, in Asia, in Africa?
Very good. Hispania et Syria et Aegyptus provinciae Romanae sunt.
Spain and Syria and Egypt.
Are provinces of Rome, are Roman provinces. Very good. Germania non est provincia Romana. Germany is not a Roman province, okay? Germania in Imperio Romano non est.
Germany is the Roman Empire.
Is not in the Roman Empire. Did y'all ever know that? Or did y'all ever?
Yeah.
Well, they never actually finally defeated the Germans. So this is an interesting thing. Rome was a kingdom, Rome was a republic, Rome became an empire, and it was spread, like it's saying right here, it was spread throughout all the known world. It was in all these different continents and whatever. But the thing about Rome is that it's one of the situations kind of like we have, where like it has a center. Where like if that center is taken out, that's like the head of the snake. And if you cut that head of the snake off, meaning if you attack Rome right where it is in Italy, all of the entire civilization and empire will fall apart. But Gaul and Germany, they weren't like that. Do you guys know what Gaul and Germany were made up of?
Kingdoms?
Not even kingdoms.
Towns.
City-states?
Yeah, kind of like towns, kind of like city-states. I would really refer to them more as tribes. Meaning they don't even really have a set place that they live. They might establish a town, but they might decide this is actually not a great place to live, and they would pick up and they would move. Yes?
Is that where Germanic comes from?
Yes, exactly. That's why they're called Germanic tribes. So it was really hard for the Romans, even as like this incredible brute legionary force, to go in and conquer all of Germany and bring it into the empire, because they would take out what they thought was the strongest tribe, and then two more would pop up in their place. So it was never this cohesive country the way that we'd imagined it. It was this very like spotty, and kind of even amongst itself, they were warring for position all the time. They were never organized, in the ancient times at least, into a nice cohesive unit with one king or anything like that. So that's why the Germans eventually were the ones who moved down into Rome and took it over as Vandals and as Goths and as the warring tribes that they were. Okay, I just want you guys to understand, you guys are ready for this test, all right? If you review your reading that we did, the one about Romulus and Remus and Mars and Rhea Sylvia, if you review that reading, you'll be really, really good, because a lot of questions are based right off of that. Review all your grammar, review your vocab, just make sure you got your endings down. You guys are good. You guys are set.
Wait, it's
All right?
it's on the reading. What do you mean by that? Like
The Mars S Deus, like you go through that reading again,
okay.
the one that's in the chapter 1 first page, you guys will be set. Yes.
What slideshow was that on? The reading?
The reading's not on a slideshow, it's in your textbook. And you wrote the translation down in your notes.
Oh, yeah,
Yep. Okay? All right, you guys, y'all go ahead and pack up. Y'all have done good work for this first chapter. Y'all should be proud of yourself. I'll see y'all tomorrow.